mission time.
Kim Possible, a Disney Channel original movie coming to Disney Channel.
Well, what is happening, Disney fans? It is your boy, D-WIZZLE. Thank you as always for tuning back into the channel. And I bet when you saw this in your subscription feed, you were thinking to yourself, is this dude really gonna talk about Kim Possible on Disney Channel? Yes, I'm going to talk about Kim Possible on Disney Channel. I just have so many thoughts about this, and I just had to get it out there, so I'm like, why not make it a review? So, yeah, so just sit back and enjoy my rant, because I have quite a bit to say about it. So, I guess this is officially going to be the first TV movie that I do on my channel, so yay. Wish it was on better circumstances though. So, you guys know, I'm a huge Disney fan. It's a big part of my life. I enjoy it a lot. And one of the things that I enjoyed watching as a kid was Disney Channel. Disney Channel was one of my favorite channels growing up as a kid outside of Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. I'm not a huge fan of it now because, as most of us know, that it just turned into a stupid sitcom channel where every show had the same humor, the same characters, the same slapstick, the same scenarios, the same story structure. Like, there's nothing really creative or innovative about Disney Channel anymore. They got lazy. I was a fan of Disney Channel back in the golden age where they had shows like That's So Raven, Lisa McGuire, Phineas and Ferb, The Proud Family, Phil the Future, that type of stuff. And of course the Disney Channel original movies like High School Musical, Camp Rock, Zenon, those type movies. That's when, Halloween Town, yeah, that type of stuff, you guys know. That's the Disney Channel that I grew up on, you know, when it had different varieties and different, you know, shows and interesting characters and emotional stuff. Like, that's when Disney Channel was good, but now it's just gotten lazy, as we all know. But one of the shows that I loved watching on Disney Channel was Kim Possible. Yes, I'm a guy, and I'm an adult, and I am confident to say that I loved Kim Possible. That was one of my favorite shows on Disney Channel. I just found something really interesting in the show. A teenage girl being a super spy, fighting these over-the-top villains, and also trying to deal with her teenage life in high school and stuff like that. I just thought that was fun. And of course you had the gadgets and the over-the-top action sequences and the cool villains like Dr. Draken, Shigo, Professor Dementor, Monkey Fist. All that stuff was great. Though one of the things that really made the show for me was the friendship and relationship between Kim and Ron. I felt those two were the staple to that show. If the friendship and relationship between those two didn't work, I didn't feel the show would be as good as it was. But those two, I really was following throughout all the seasons of Kim Possible. And just seeing them as kids growing up, you know, being childhood best friends, to them eventually becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, being in a relationship. I just loved seeing them grow up together. That was my favorite parts of the show, and that's what made the final season of Kim Possible is my favorite season out of the entire show, because we just seeing how they evolved as characters and as people, and seeing that just seeing them grow up and go through different dynamics and different situations, you know, that they haven't faced before. That stuff was interesting to me, and you know, even the villains. Like Dragon and Shigo, they evolved as characters as well by the end of the series, and just seeing that all come together, that was great. You know, seeing them graduate and them having them just trying to figure out what they're going to do after going out of high school. Are they still going to be together? What type of stuff they want to do as careers, and then how they're going to deal with that stuff with, you know, being spies and stuff like that. That was cool. And even Draken and Shigo starting to, you know, develop their relationship, and it's like being wishy-washy on whether or not they want to be villains or not. Like, that type of stuff I thought was cool. That's why I thought, you know, that season finale I thought was amazing. And I know a lot of people, that are Kim Possible fans wanted to just see one more season of that. Just one more season. Just seeing them deal with college life, and seeing Dragon and Shigo, their relationship, evolve from that. Just see where they go from there, and just seeing the relationship go through, whatever they go through between Ron and Kim. That's what we wanted to see. Just one more season of that. You just see how they deal with being adults, because they've been teenagers the entire time of us watching them. So having just one season, or even like a TV original movie with them, dealing with adulthood, that's what everybody wanted to see. Even Phineas and Ferb did that for like one episode, So everyone was hoping for that to happen with this, but no, they just completely abandoned the show. And there was even voice actors of the show and producers wanted another season to happen, and there's even fans that try to do fan episodes of what could be that season of Kim Possible, but nothing came into fruition, so they just abandoned it for a few years. And then lo and behold, Disney Channel brings back Kim Possible, but not in the way that we wanted it. Instead, they decided to reboot the entire thing and make it a live-action film, and a live-action original movie, say. And everyone was just pissed at that point, because that's not what we wanted to see. We didn't want it to be rebooted into a live-action movie. And the cast that they got for this movie didn't look good either. You had Sadie Stanley being Kim, and Sean Giambrone as Ron Stoppable. They look like middle schoolers. I'm just like, this just didn't look right. It's just, I saw the trailers and the marketing for this, and this just looked cheap. And it looked like they were just going to restructure the show from the beginning. So this is a prequel. This is like a prequel reboot. So this is taking place when Kim is just getting into high school. So they're pretty much restructuring the story from there, and I was pretty mad about that, because you had such good development from the original show that you just threw away from that. Instead of just doing one more movie with them in college, continuing off the stuff that you already established in the show, you decide to just reboot it and start from scratch with stuff that's not as interesting and stuff that doesn't really fully make sense in the context of the original show. So everyone was pissed, and not to mention, it did look, like I said, it looked cheap. Like, it looked like a stage show. It seriously looked like that. It's like the action sequences look cheap, the effects look cheap, the costumes look cheap. It looked like something I would go to Disney World and see. Like, it was that bad. And the acting didn't seem that good either. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, Ben 10 on, Cartoon Network, and they did that live action movie, Race Against Time, and that was really cheaply done. It really felt like that. It felt like such a slap in the face to those people that were fans of Kim Possible from the beginning. And now you're just making us like this iteration instead of just bringing back the old show or just building on top of the show that everyone already loved. So I didn't want to watch this. I was avoiding this at all costs. Though I was still curious to see what they would do with this. Regardless of the stuff that they changed, I'm just like, okay, maybe I just have to put my personal pretenses aside and just judge it for what it is. If the changes that they do are warranted, then it won't bother me as much. If they do it to the best of their ability. So I'm willing to give this new iteration a chance. So I did record this and watched it later. I didn't watch it live because I didn't care. But I did record it, and I ended up watching it at a different day. And I will say it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not horrible, but it's still not good. It's not good. It was very frustrating watching this. just because like I said, I love Kim Possible, and I just love that show, and I just love the story and the characters that they, were developing through all these seasons, and you're replacing it with this. I will say the acting is not horrible. The acting is fine. What the problem is that everyone, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 people, were miscasted in this movie. They were miscasted. Number one, Sadie Stanley is Kim Possible. Now, she did a fine job acting. I'm not going to completely blame it on her, but she was miscast. And the people that wrote her to be this iteration of Kim Possible didn't understand the character. One thing that was, a few things that were missing from this iteration of Kim Possible is that the original Kim Possible was a bit more snarky. It was a bit more, she had a bit more attitude. Like, she didn't let people, step all over her, and it almost felt like she was the smartest person in the room. She was like, she doesn't take crap from anybody. But this iteration of Kim Possible is kind of a wuss. She's a pushover, honestly. It's like she's just being so emotional and just all whiny for the entire movie, and it's like, I guess they were trying to make Kim a little bit more human, a little bit more, relatable, but it's just like you took her, badassery out of it when you just made her so like whiny and all this stuff. Like, Kim was not this whiny in the show. It's like, yes, she had her emotional moments here and there. She's not a robot or anything, but it's like she doesn't just let people, she doesn't just do what people tell her to do, and she doesn't let people, take over her life. And it just feels like this Kim is just like worried too much about what people think, and that's not what the original Kim does. Ron, I thought was fine. He was doing his very best to capture the character from the show, so I give props to him. But the whole time it sounded like he was talking with a lisp. Why is he talking like this? Like, Ron does not have a lisp, but this person has a lisp. I don't know if the actor actually has a lisp in real life, but it was very distracting, because when he's talking the entire time, and just like it was just very distracting. Like, AKP, D, Booyah! I'm like, what? And then getting to Kim's mom is played by Allison Hannigan. Yes, you heard me correctly. Kim Possible's mom is played by Allison Hannigan. Allison Hannigan from the American Pie movies is Kim Possible's mom. Hannigan, the girl that was like, one time at band camp, I shoved the flute up my pussy. That's Kim's mom. What? What was their mind process casting these people, man? This was so stupid. And then Mr. Bracken looks like Dr. Phil. Like, they didn't even try with some of these characters to just like try to have something that matches the original source material. I mean, yes, they did try to, do homage to the original show. Like, the designs of the houses, they look similar to the show. The costume design looks similar. Even there's one character in the movie, Athena. Her outfit is homaging Kim's outfit in the last season. Yeah, in her final season, she was wearing the same outfit that Kim wore. And even there's a cool cameo from one of the voice actors from the original show that makes an appearance. So I do feel like there are fans of the source material working on this movie, but I feel like they just took too many liberties, and those liberties aren't as good as the original source material. That's just my problem with it. And then the story itself doesn't feel all the way coherent. And I'm not gonna pretend like Kim Possible has like sophisticated storytelling and deep character development, because it didn't. But because, you know, the story and the shows are really hokey and cartoony, and yes, it has some silly dialogue, so I'm not gonna pretend like Kim Possible's amazing writing or anything like that, but what really got you into the show was the characters. You like the characters, whether they're villains or the good guys. They're interesting to watch, and they're exciting to watch, and the show does not just depend on their caricatures. The show story actually helps develop them as characters, really. So it's like with this movie, it felt like they were relying too much on the character traits instead of having the story complement the character traits, instead of the character traits trying to make a story out of the movie, if I'm making any sense. So it's just like, which brings us to one of the issues, which I'll get to later, but it's just like the story was just it's kind of dumb. And, pretty much Dr. Draken and Shigo are the main villains of this movie, and they're trying to steal the spark of Kim Possible, that spark that gives her the energy and the motivation and the fighting techniques, I guess, you know, the mind process that Kim has. They're trying to steal that spark from her. They actually use spark in the movie, so I'm not just saying that just because. They actually use this term, the spark that Kim Possible has. They're trying to steal it with the machine that Draken creates, so Draken can become smarter and more powerful with the spark that Kim has. And I'm like, what? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard from a plan. And this is Kim Possible I'm talking about, but that was the stupidest thing. Let me talk about Athena real quick. This is a new character. This is a new character that they wrote for the show. I'm sorry, that they wrote for the movie. New character they wrote for the movie that ends up being the best friend of Kim and Ron. And at that moment, I was like, "Where's Monique? Where's Monique? Monique is the best friend of Kim and Ron." But there was no Monique in this movie. I mean, you had Bonnie in this film, but you don't have Monique? Why is it Monique in the place of Athena in this movie? This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Like, Athena, she's fine. She's a fine character in the film, but it's like, I felt like her overall development was ruining the movie, because she just comes off as this Mary Sue character that everything she does is perfect, and then there's this whole like conflict between her and Kim that I don't care for, and then it's making Kim look like a worse character in the movie. So it's like Athena wasn't even that great of a character. She reminded me of Rose from The Last Jedi. Like, that's how annoying, that's how like, you know, bad of a character she is. You know, that's how bad they've written her. It's just like, I don't care about this. Bring us characters from the original show, like Monique. But she's not in this. And that really irritated me. I'm sorry, this is a rant. This is not a regular movie review. This is just a rant, so I'm just going off the head. So, sorry if I'm all over the place. I'm just bewildered at what they're doing with this movie. Draken and Shigo are probably the best characters in the movie, honestly, because like those two were like one of the few things in this film that resembled anything from the original show. Though I didn't like their designs really. Like, Shigo has these glowing gauntlets and silver claws, and like, why does she have that? First of all, she's supposed to have her powers naturally because they came from a comet, because she used to be part of a superhero group called Team Go. We know there's He-Go and Me-Go and We-Go, and she was part of that group, and they got hit with the colorful comet that gave her superpowers. So if you're implying that these green gauntlets are giving her the abilities, you already messed up on the source material. That's not how it is. And then Dr. Draken, why is he not all the way blue? Like, they give him blue veins, and I'm like, I guess that's a creative choice, that's fine, but it's just like, I don't know, it wasn't as visually appealing as him being blue. And him being all the way blue is a storyline that they have in one of the episodes in the original show. That was actually integral to this plot, with him being all the way blue. Because Ron gets bad, evil in one of the episodes, and he gets all the way blue. So I'm like, I mean, I guess the veins are fine. It's like, I guess that's their way of incorporating that the evilness could take over a person's mind. But like I said, it's just not visually appealing. This whole movie doesn't feel visually appealing. Like, it feels like a stage show. It feels like something they cheaply made. Sorry, my phone's going off. It feels like a show that was cheaply made, from, like I said, a show from the Disney parks or a freaking stage play. That's what it feels like. Even the action sequences of this movie feel staged, and like it doesn't feel natural. Like, I don't understand it, and it brings me to the biggest complaint that I have with this movie is that after watching this, I feel like Kim Possible is one of those shows that can't be translated well to live action. Because I feel like one of the best traits of the Kim Possible show was the fact that it was a cartoon, because the characters were able to do stuff that they wouldn't be able to get away with in live action. Kim Possible is a cartoony show. Like, it's not like Looney Tunes or anything, but the characters are doing stuff that's unrealistic and not tangible in a realistic setting, With Kim Possible, we keep forgetting Kim is a teenager. And in real life, like, a teenager shouldn't be able to fight a superpowered woman with rays coming out of her hands. Like, there's something it's something kind of hokey about that. However, how it works in the show is that the people that designed the characters make Kim look like she's an adult. So it's more tangible for her to fight these superpower threats. It almost makes you forget that she is an adult because of the way she's drawn. And even like Wade, he's a kid genius helping Kim with these missions and has all these gadgets in his room. Though in this movie, he's a legit kid with a high-pitched voice, like coming out of kindergarten or something like that, doing like this oracle stuff with Kim, and it doesn't feel natural. But in the show, it does, because they drew him in a way that he looks older than what he actually is. So it's more tangible for him to do the stuff that he's doing, and his voice was not as high. And Kim doing these crazy stunts with the grappling gun, it just looks so stupid in live action. But in the animation standpoint, it looks more believable, because like the set pieces are just choreographed so lazily, like it's taken me out of the movie that she's doing all these crazy stunts and flips. So it's like, and even like the over-the-top colorful characters like Draken and Shigo work better in animation setting, because they're able to get those emotional features from the face. Like, it's more apparent in the show. It feels more colorful and over the top, which is more appealing to watch. But when you're watching it in a live action setting, it doesn't feel natural. Like when they're being over the top. Even though Draken and Shigo were really good in this movie for what they were given, it still didn't feel natural because they're naturally cartoonish characters. And so when you're translating this to live action, it doesn't work as well. So overall, I'm very disappointed with this movie. I didn't expect much from this from the get-go, but I'm just like, I can't believe Disney just let this happen, it was such a beloved show. I can't believe they just were so lazy with the writing and the character designs and the action and stuff like that. I forgot to talk about Rufus. Rufus was really good. That's one of the few designs that I liked, really, but he wasn't in the movie enough. Probably because it wasn't in the budget to have a CGI naked mole rat be there the entire time, but he was one of the highlights. More than Kim. And that was really sad. So, I was very disappointed with this. It's not something I want to revisit, because I don't think I'm going to like it any more than I do, which is not very much. If it came down to, you know, showing kids this movie or the original show, I'm definitely having them watch the original show. I would not have them watch this. And this is supposed to be the Kim for the new generation, I assume. And it's like, this is not what I would show to the new generation, because I don't even think kids will dig it that much, because it's even for people that weren't huge fans of the Kim Possible show, then watching this, it still feels lazy on a filmmaking standpoint and a character standpoint. It feels silly. It doesn't feel consistent with tone, and just no. I would just have them watch the original show, because that is so much better, and have them watch the original Disney Channel movies. You know, A Stitch in Time, I'll have them watch that, and I'll have them watch So the Drama, that movie. I'll have them watch that, but this is not what I would show to kids, you know, for a new generation. I'll just have them watch this and be like, look how awesome Disney Channel used to be, having good shows like this, the original Kim Possible. So overall, I'm going to give Kim Possible 2019 a C. Not impressed. Not impressed. But that's how I feel about Kim Possible 2019. Thank you for listening to my rant. Hopefully I didn't annoy people with how much I'm just going about this this cartoon about a teenage girl fighting villains. But no, I'm just passionate about this stuff, man. You know, Disney didn't used to be this lazy, you know. And you know, Disney Channel, like I said, used to be a great channel, but you know, when they're doing stuff like this, I'm just like, what happened to you guys, you know? But anyway, yeah, that's how I feel about it. What did you guys think about Kim Possible 2019? If you guys actually watched it, I don't know if much people watched this movie or not, but if you guys did, what did you guys think about it? Did you guys like it more than I did? Did you guys find some more highlights from this that I didn't see? Or did you guys think it was really bad? Was it as horrible as you guys thought it was going to be? Or did you guys think, no, it was okay, it was fine? Comment your thoughts and let me know, I guess. If you guys enjoyed this rant, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel if you want to be updated on future videos I'll be doing. Maybe there'll be another rant at some point, you know, when Hollywood and people do stupid stuff like this. You'll definitely hear some more rants from me. But other reviews and stuff like that I'll be doing on my channel. So if you like what I do, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. We're on the road to 50 subscribers. Let's get to that goal this year. That'll be amazing. Yeah, thank you as always for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.